First of all, I got to admit, I'm not familiar with these books, and I had never really read them until now I saw this movie, and now I'm dying to read them.
Cool, I can thank Tim for that.
Yeah, now what was the initial nugget that inspired the story?
Well, it's a story I had been telling in various ways since I was a pseudo-writer as a little kid. Growing up in Florida, in a sunny town, sort of dreaming of foggy castles in England and reading horror novels and, in bed while listening to grunge music.
Nice.
It was a combination of that and all of these stories I'd been trying to tell about doors to other worlds sort of hidden within our own. And my obsession with visual things. I had gone to film school, I loved photography, I took my own pictures, and I was collecting photos. And I started a vintage found photo collection that I would just get at flea markets and swap meets and things and other photo collectors. And they sparked a sort of inspiration in my mind that it might be another way into that same story, and the mysteriousness of the pictures might actually form the spine of a mystery that could lead a character from our world into theirs.
It's become kind of cool to be the oddball, I think.
That's a new thing, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a new thing, and that's something that's a part of culture, pop culture, geek culture, making these people that are so unique.
Right.
Did that kind of come into play?
I wish that it had been cool to be a nerd when I was a kid. That
I know,
would have
right?
been super helpful. So, a little too late, guys.
I know, right? Seeing it on the big screen and seeing the changes they made, was there anything that you feel that, oh, I wish they would have put that in there, or were you happy with what you saw?
I was amazed at all the things that Tim was able to elegantly fit into the container of this movie, and then even go further. The whole third act is sort of an elaboration on the novel, and I feel like if my mind had just gone slightly to the right, the novel might have gone there too. So it all feels of a piece to me with the novel and the spirit of the book.
What character specifically, at least I think a lot of writers have that one character that they kind of put their own personality into. Is there one that you put your personality into?
There's no one who I explicitly based on myself, but in as much as there is a character who's me, it's Jake, who is, he lives in my town in Florida, and there's so many little details of his life that I sort of stuck, and transposed myself onto. And the novel's written in the first person. It's all I, me, and when you're writing, 1,200 pages, 3 books from I, me, it's really hard not to let yourself leak into that character.
I've got to read these books, man. I'm so intrigued by the story. Do you see it continuing even further?
I'm not quite sure yet. I just wrote something called Tales of the Peculiar, which is like a collection of fairy tales that exist within the world. So I'm like teasing out more of the world, the history of the world, and the sort of scope of the world, because it's big and there's a lot there, and it's fun to imagine, the breadth of the fiction, but I'm not sure yet.
Well, I keep thinking you said grunge music and horror novels. What was your favorite?
I specifically remember reading it while listening to Alice in Chains' Dirt on repeat, so somehow that worked in my head.